What's up, and welcome back to Opposites Attract Podcast. This is Sonia Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting next to
Miguel Ramirez.
What's up, everybody? How is your day?
How was your week?
How is your life? Going. Looking at you like,
you gotta mix
hello. I know there's times where I want to do the intro different because we say the same thing over and over again. Yeah. And so I remember, back then I was like, yo, what's up? This is Sonia Ramirez. You know what I'm saying? And so that gets me hyped up, and I like that. And maybe I should switch it up a little bit.
Actually, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the episode that we did in New York with Joe Palumbo, with my cousin.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that one.
I need to listen to that one again.
You started it out with, yo, what's up?
Yeah, because that's how, and Joe, that's how I hear Joe. He has that kind of,
He's like, when you think of New York accent,
you
think that is New York accent right there.
Hey, what's up with the bottle, huh?
With the bottle.
It's looking pretty sexy.
My Bud Light.
Yeah,
this podcast is not sponsored by Bud Light,
but it will be one day. No.
Yeah, well, I don't want free beer. I can't get free beer.
No,
that is
you're
not
right.
Good.
No. Yeah, no.
I don't think they do that anyway. But
beer. So, hey, I had a sleepover. We had a sleepover last night.
We had an adult
all
sleepover?
Did. Yes. So my sister stayed the night.
Yeah.
Her husband and my nephew, and his birthday's tomorrow.
Yeah, that's super cool.
And so we all had, it was amazing. And it's just because I never, I started thinking back, I'm growing this relationship with so my mom and dad, there's 4 of us with my mom and dad, and then my dad remarried, and I have 2 little sisters and a little brother from that marriage. And so I was thinking back, have I ever had these bonding experience with my sisters? My mom, the sisters that I have with my mom and dad.
Yeah. And
I don't remember, and it's probably because Diane was 5 years older than I, and Lorraine is 7 years older than I, and they moved out,
Yeah.
Got into a relationship, had kids, and I just went out on my own way, and I never really had these bonding experience. My sister came over last night, and we're wrapping gifts. I'm drinking wine. She tried to drink it. No.
Not her thing.
And we're laughing, and we're listening to 80s and 90s, and my daughter's in there with us, and we're singing, laughing, dancing, just having an amazing time. And I'm like, why have I missed this experience with my other sisters? I didn't have that with them. And it feels so good to have her here, And then this morning, we hung out, and, we made breakfast together, and danced in the kitchen, and laughed and cried. And
it's really cool. Well, I think, the bonding, this kind of experience, them spending the night. And I mean, we've been just hanging out for 2 days.
And they're still here, and we're going to go shopping a little more.
But I think it's also because we're older. That we have these kind of they have a little boy who is the same age as our son, and they play great together. Mm-hmm. So we're all kind of going through similar, family things.
Yeah.
And it's a great time to get together.
But
what I'm saying, even still, when my little brother came to visit, that was still a great bonding experience. But the thing is that we're not little kids anymore.
Yeah.
We're older now. Yeah. And we can kind of just
appreciate, right?
Yeah.
Appreciate.
Chill. Because even my other brother, Alan, I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
But if he came over, I'm sure it's, we're all adults now, and it's kind of, it's a different type of chill.
It is.
Than when you're a little kid.
And I liked this. And, my sister, my older sister, she lives maybe 40 minutes away, but this is something that hopefully one day, that we can do, because I don't have that close bond.
Yeah.
Because we never had that time. And I was listening to a podcast, and the question that they asked was, what is love? What is love?
Oh, I wish I had that. What is love?
Got to do with it.
I was thinking that.
What is love?
No,
not
the
Tina Turner?
Night at the Roxbury.
See, here's the difference. I'm thinking Tina Turner. He's thinking the Night at the Roxbury.
It's like a disco song, isn't it? What's love got to do? Got to do with
that's
it.
Tina Turner,
Is
man.
It?
Yeah.
No.
What's love? No, I don't know how to sing. She has a deep voice.
What the fuck was it? What?
Tina Turner has a deep voice.
What's love got to do?
But no, for real, like they were saying, like, is love a feeling? Like, is it an emotion? Is it a feeling? And they said it's an act. Like, the more time you spend with those you love, the closer the bond's going to get. And I never really recognized that because I love regardless.
You love love.
Yeah, I love love and I love regardless.
That's
like
a t-shirt.
If I tell
Put that
someone,
on a t-shirt.
Right? If I don't just throw out I love you just because it sounds good. Like if I'm telling you I love you, it's because I love you. Like I have this special place for you in my heart, locked up, that comes out whenever you're around or not around. But I Ruby and I, we've been calling each other every day, just sharing our day with each other. And I've noticed that, you know what? That is 100% right. Like you can tell someone you love them all you want.
Yeah.
But if you don't spend that quality time with them, that love, that bond is not going to grow. And so, my goddaughter called me yesterday, and that's another thing. We live so far from a lot of our family. We live in East.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah. Don't know. Okay. And so it's about 45, 50 minutes away. And so, I don't see my nieces.
We should give our GPS location out on the podcast.
I don't see my nieces as much. And, like my mom, my dad as much unless I go visit them. And at first I was like, but now I'm like, you know what? I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. Yeah. I'm going to go see my nieces. I'm going to drive out there. I'm going to go visit them. And Ramona called me the other day, my goddaughter, today, and said, if I could take her to her doctor's appointment because her mom can't. And I'm like, let me check my work schedule. Let me see what I have going on. And I'm cool. Like, let's go. I looked. I was clear. I'm like, hey, I'll be there. 2 o'clock, I'll be there.
Nice.
Like it doesn't matter distance when it comes to love and building relationships and being there for people. Distance should not get in the way.
Yeah.
It should not get in the way.
You could still call and text.
Yes.
Call better than a text.
Yes. Yes. And that's the thing. Like, and they said you can build those relationships with a phone call
and video
not
call.
And not just like, hey, what's up? It's like getting vulnerable, like talking to them like about your day and what's good, what's bad, it's just all of that, and that can also build that relationship as well.
Yeah.
And I look back at when my sister Diane, she lived in California, and so many people when she passed had regret because they felt like they didn't spend enough time with her or go visit her, because they allowed the distance to get in the way. And I can tell you that when she passed, that was not one of my regrets, because we talked. Like, we would talk, and you and I would go visit her like whenever we can. And it was pretty often because you were out there in Yuma.
Yeah, I was only like 45 minutes away from them.
Yeah. So I think you even went up there.
Yeah, I did. I went there a few times.
Yeah. And so, that was not a regret of mine. And I don't want to ever have to live with that regret, not seeing someone that I love because they live too far or because of stupid differences.
But even if you can't, I mean, a phone call.
Yes.
You can still make a phone call.
Yes.
Even if it's a couple minutes or whatever.
Yes.
When you were talking, we were saying, I love love. I was thinking like when we finally get our merch store.
Yes.
2 t-shirts we could make. If you guys were listening to the last podcast, we could make your version. It says I love love, and then it'll have our logo or whatever.
Yeah.
And then my t-shirt will say, go bitch.
Oh my.
But no, these last couple they've been a lot of fun. I mean, these last few days, this is the thing is like, so this is a bonus episode for the month, and you guys know that listen to the podcast every couple months we'll drop an extra episode, and this is one of them. And this is my 3-day weekend, and it is Sunday evening. Mm-hmm. These days go by so freaking fast.
They do.
I fuck, man. I don't even know.
But it's been amazing.
But it's
just been really, really good.
Even though the time's gone by fast, they've been really good days.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
been fun.
This morning when we were cooking, I found some 90s music.
Yeah.
Did that take you back some?
Yeah,
Did some
a
of
little
the
bit.
music, right?
Yep.
A little bit.
Some of the concerts that we've been to.
Yeah.
Mary J.
So, and then we were talking about, which we're not going to talk about on this podcast, right? How we met, like our whole.
No, we could talk about it.
You really? Do you? Okay.
I mean, we could bring it up later too.
Yeah, but I think that was really cool to share that with my sister because she wasn't able to be there. And then I realized, I'm like, we got a video. I'm like, oh my God, we got a video. We show you the video because she was little.
We have pictures somewhere.
Yeah,
we gotta look through our phones. We got pictures somewhere of when we got married.
Well, yeah, we got the whole disc.
Yeah.
With all the pictures on it as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyways, it's just been really good. It's been a very good bonding experience. And then seeing our kids kind of just connecting and, building those friendships, and it feels really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. We also, for all of you know, Christmas is coming up, and we have, so with Joey recently, we want him to get into reading, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, like every parent wants their kid usually to get into reading. And, we would have trouble getting Joey to read something that he wants to read, or reading anything that's good. They got these books. They're really popular. I don't understand how I don't know if the parents don't read these books, but I can't understand how you give these books such a high review. I mean, Joey is 9 years old, and they have these Dogman books. Oh. And then there's this other book that we bought him, like a little book set.
Yeah.
And it's called something about zombie goldfish.
Fish.
Something about zombie goldfish. Mm-hmm. It is the fucking stupidest books I've ever read.
Yeah, it's
it's not that there's anything really wrong with them, but it doesn't teach the kids anything. Mm-hmm. It's written all fucked up.
It's kind of like Ramona the Pest too.
This is the thing is, if you're trying to fucking get the kid to read and they're reading a book and the book, the grammar's all fucked up. Like, you're just learning shit all backwards.
What is this? Yes.
I fucking hate those books.
Be aware of what your kids are reading.
Yeah, every parent should be aware of what their kids are reading.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And anyway, we got a little inside thing that
we could
talk about another time. But yeah, parents should definitely know what their kids are reading, what they're up to. But then that kind of also, I don't know sheds light on the good books, the books that are, I haven't seen that many. Do you know of any other ones?
There's leadership books, but they're not for kids. Well, Audrey, I'm
talking about like good. You guys out there, if you guys know of any good kids books, because like we would love to know. We would love to put them out there, because there has to be better options than this garbage that, like, and the shit is that it's rated super high, 4.5, 5 stars, and it's like, this is bullshit. But the books that we really like you guys know, and because it's Christmas and it's a great time if you guys have little kids and you want to get them something valuable, something that's actually good for them instead of some bullshit, a game or a toy or whatever. These books are actually really good.
Yes, there's tons of lessons to go through. You know what you should probably talk to Jocko about?
So yes,
children dealing with death.
Before Mikey and the Dragons.
Oh really? It talks about
the father, the king dies in the book. And the boy has to save the kingdom. That's what that book. So anyway, for those of you guys that are interested, Jocko Willink, he's a former Navy SEAL, and he has leadership books for adults, but he also writes kids books. And he has a series called Way of the Warrior Kid. And then he also has a book, and those are for probably about what, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 years old.
Then he has one for younger.
And then there's another book called Mikey and the Dragons, and that one's maybe it's more of a picture book, so it's probably 5, 6, 7 years old, something like that. And but they are really good books. The grammar is correct. They teach excellent lessons, and if you guys want
in a way where the child could actually understand,
and they can relate to it, because there's a lot of like these the Way of the Warrior Kid books. I mean, they're talking about bullies. They're talking about like not being confident. They're talking about like eating the wrong things and not wanting to study and being lazy. All those things, they cover it in the book. Yes. And the way he does it is so thoughtful. I mean, it's just great. Everything about the book is awesome.
So I'm a bit conflicted. Like, those books are great, but I remember when we were talking to Joey's teacher, she said, whatever he enjoys reading, let him read.
Yeah.
Because that will get him to want to read. And unfortunately, Joey likes those Dogman books.
They fucking suck. But one thing that maybe we can look into is like a topic or a subject that he's interested in. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I don't know how much he's actually into baseball, but I'm sure there's like some kind of baseball kids books.
Yeah.
Or something that's probably written better. I would imagine there's got to be like kids sports books.
I'm sure there is. We just got to research
We got to look them up. And if you guys know
it.
any, if you guys want to let us know, you guys can call us. You guys can send us a message, 480-912-5128. And if you guys want to pick up some of those books for Christmas for the kids that are in your family, you guys can do that through our Amazon link. And if you do it that way, it'll help us out. You can find our link by going to oppositesattractpodcast.com. When you go there, you can watch the podcast. Mm-hmm. You can listen to it. You can subscribe. You can follow our social media. But if you go to the tab at the top that says support the show, or if you're on your phone and you click the little menu bar, it'll pull up the tab support the show. And that'll take you to our Amazon link. Anything that you purchase on Amazon doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps out the show. And you'll also see a link to Trust Inc. And Trust Inc. is?
We are a nationwide mobile notary agency. We do a lot of work for title companies, law firms, lenders as well. So if you're looking to refinance, sell, or purchase your home, request Trust Inc. as your mobile notary business.
And you can
services,
And you can go to Trust Inc. directly by going to trustinkusa.com. We're also affiliates with Libsyn, which is who hosts our podcast. And if you guys want to start a podcast, if you have something that you're passionate about, something that you want to talk about, and you want to give podcasting a shot, if you use promo code OAP for Opposites Attract Podcast, you'll get whatever month you sign up in, you'll get the rest of that month for free, and you'll get the next month for free for trying it out. For trying out Libsyn. Promo code OAP.
I got you there, huh? You're like stumbling upon your words there, buddy.
Little bit. So we're coming up on episode 100. This is episode 97. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's crazy.
We need to do like a giveaway or something.
Dude, when I start going back through the podcast, it is kind of crazy to look back. Like, we got to go back and listen to like the first couple podcasts. We do. We got to watch the first podcast that we recorded, because I think that was like episode 2 or 3. Yeah. There was only like, we started doing video right away.
Yeah.
It was like episode 2 or 3.
Let's talk about that. That made me super nervous.
Did it? Oh yeah, I remember you talking about
because I wasn't as confident yet.
Has this helped?
Because I'm very with my confidence, or just not giving a shit about what people say.
Kind of.
That, yes. But just because, like I'm like, hey, is this my good angle? Like, hey, is this right?
Shoot my good side.
Is this my good side?
The camera puts on 10 pounds and all that stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Like, as a female, it's very, very difficult when you're not in tune with yourself, when you're not happy, or you just care too much about what other people will say,
or what they think.
Yeah. And some of the girls just, they're done. Like, I had a friend who 4 of them were doing it, and they just stopped because they didn't like the way they looked on camera. But they had such valuable information that they were sharing, but they couldn't get over that.
Have you ever felt that way? Because there's a lot of people that say like public speaking, and yeah, pretty much public speaking in front of a group or speaking in front of people, like that's, people would rather die than do that. Yes. Did you feel that way?
God, yes. Remember Legal Shield, when it started there, okay, because that's where everything started, was there for me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to so bad because I always liked the spotlight, right? Like I just love sharing and helping, and I do like the spotlight. I don't know about anymore. Nah, not as much as I did. I don't think I'm there, Yeah. But it was difficult for me, and there's times where I would get nervous. I would stumble upon my words, but not so much on how I looked in front of the room. It was how I would speak or express myself, because I don't have that. Like, I don't feel, I need to work on my vocabulary, but that's been a stumbling block for me my entire life.
Yeah.
And so just focusing on that, I believe, would help me feel more confident And I think just reading more has helped me develop that, but I still get words incorrectly from here, right? I still do. And then you come in and you help me. So this is kind of good. And I'm okay with knowing where I'm at in my life right now, so that if there is a comment on YouTube, like we had one, but they said,
this lady's an ass.
Yeah. You know, and I know I'm not an ass.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm not an ass. I have it, you know, a nice ass, but I'm not an ass, you know? And so
you gotta give me some warning.
Oh, really, babe? I'm going to say something right now. Get ready. But, and that's why it didn't affect me. That comment didn't really affect me.
Yeah.
You know? Because I know I'm not an ass. But, and if someone's like, hey, girl, you need to go back to, you know, college and get more education because your vocabulary sucks ass, I'm going to be like, tell me something I don't know.
Well, that's exactly like what we were talking about last week. When it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Commenting on people's videos, you fucking loser.
Yeah.
You know, like, fuck off. But you know what? Actually, in your, like what you're saying, have you talked to Audrey about that?
Yes,
like your vocabulary and like you're putting this out there.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, we all get words wrong and we stumble upon
I
stuff.
have a bit like, I'm not even kidding. And the more I talk to my sisters, you know, they feel the same way, that like they have a slight dyslexia or just
like a speech impediment or something. Yeah.
And I know my brother did when he was younger, but it had to do with my mom and dad getting a divorce that affected him, because that just was something that came up, but he got help and got over it. But I feel that there is something there, but it's something that I overcoming. It's something that I know that, you know, I have some work.
You know what it's to me sometimes it seems like I don't know, I'm always thinking about stuff, but for me sometimes it seems like you're thinking about so many things
and it just comes out.
It's like you're talking about something but you're thinking about the next thing already. And you're not like, it's like, who gives a fuck about this sentence because I'm already on the next sentence. Right. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I was just doing that.
You're just like, I'm just gonna throw some fucking words together so we can get to the next one.
Well, because I feel like I'm gonna forget. So yeah, I do. I do that. But I was telling Audrey, I'm like, listen, you know, growing up, like I had to study, and that's why I didn't have a whole lot of friends. Like because I knew where I was going. I was so scared of being poor when I grew up that I made the decision at the age of 9 that I was going to be successful. And to me, successful at that time was making a whole lot of money, because that's something we did not have.
Yeah.
You know? And so I had to study. Like I was one of those individuals that if I wanted to learn something, I had to study, and I had to study harder than most.
Yeah.
You know, versus like
it just kind of comes to them.
Right. Or if the teacher's up there lecturing, like they hear it, they get it, they understand it. Not me. You can be up there talking all you want, but until I read it, write it, and then read it out loud, you know, and figure it out, it takes me a little longer. So I told her, I'm like, baby, it's okay. You know, like it's okay. I told her, like, I don't expect you to get straight A's. I do expect you to give it 100. Yeah, 100%, 100%. And if you are not doing 100%, if you're not giving it 100%, that that C is unacceptable.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like if you tried your hardest and you got a C, well, you did your best. The thing is that we also know what they're capable of.
Right.
And a C is below what they're capable of.
And my grades were good. Like I had good, I would get A's, B's, and maybe 1 C, but I was focused as shit.
Yeah.
You know? And so I told her, it's okay to be different. It's okay not to learn like the rest.
Yeah.
And I think that's where kids get pushed in the cracks, because the teachers expect them to learn just, you know, together. You know what I'm saying? Like
using the same technique, the same style for everybody.
Exactly. And that's just, it doesn't work. So then you have to figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
You know? And so
I don't know. I've said it a bunch of times. There are certain things that are important: math, reading, writing. The rest they can figure out, you know, on their own.
And Joey,
if they want to.
Yeah. And Joey is just smart as shit. Like he's just a smart little boy, but he's impatient. Stubborn. He's impatient and he's stubborn, and he wants to be perfect right now. He wants to know right now.
So I had what you were talking.
Or he wants the answers, I guess.
Or no, he doesn't. He's impatient. He wants to be good at it now.
Yes.
He doesn't understand. Like, what the hell we were talking? Oh, the other day we were talking about basketball. He said, "I want to try basketball," and automatically, like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, well, I already know how this is gonna go. He's not gonna be good dribbling the ball. He's not gonna be good shooting the ball
because he's never tried.
He's not gonna be good at any of it because he doesn't play basketball.
Right.
And he's going to get super frustrated because he's going to expect to be dribbling that ball and shooting that ball when he gets it.
He expects to be good.
And then if somebody takes the ball from him.
You
know, and I told him when he was telling me about basketball, I'm like, dude, you need to understand. I'm telling you now, you're going to suck. You're going to suck.
And that's okay.
And you're going to have to learn. But you're not just going to be good at it. Nobody is just good at it.
Right.
You have to practice.
Yep.
And we had this situation just at jiu-jitsu the other day because he's been doing jiu-jitsu for so long. For like 2 years now, maybe a little longer. And he knows what to do and he is good. But there's times when he doesn't try.
He's just not motivated.
He's not motivated to do it. He's not thinking because there is time. Like if you're just spaced out, you're going to get your ass beat. And if you're not really focused, like you can't be somewhere else when you're doing jiu-jitsu.
Right.
You have to be there with your partner, watching what they're doing. What are they trying to do? What am I trying to do? What am I in trouble? What in danger of? Where can I take advantage? Like you have to be thinking about this stuff. And I don't know if it's just like he doesn't feel like it, but when he's rolling or doing something, I see something and it's something simple. And I pull him to the side after class and I'm like, hey, I want to show you something that's going to help you get better so that you don't keep getting beat. But every time that I would do that, he would get a bad attitude.
Yeah, he would shut down.
Like I would be like, Joey, come here. And he's like, and I'm like, dude, I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to help. Like I saw something that's going to help you out so that you don't get swept next time, so that you don't get choked next time. And it happens all the time. And last time we were there, I was like, you know what? At a certain point, I'm like, this is what's happening from now on. You're not going to stop going to jiu-jitsu. You're going to keep going. But I'm not going to be offering to help. If you want help, I'll help you. You can ask me for help. You can ask me, what did I do wrong? How did I get tapped? What could have I done better? Did you see something that I could improve on or whatever? And I'll help him with whatever he wants. But I am not just going to be like, hey, come here. I saw this. Let's work on it. Because every time I just get shit and hell.
I think that it's because you're coaching him. I feel that you should let the other coaches coach him because you're dad. It's the same thing. Like we're giving the kids advice. Like Audrey will hear me. Not so much with Audrey.
The thing is that at the end of class, I always pull somebody aside. Usually. Yes. Most of the time, I will pull one of the kids aside. I always pull Joey aside, but I'm always watching the other kids too. And when I see something, I'll grab them and I'm like, hey, come here real quick before, after class. I want to show you something. When they do this, grab this, pull it, and then you'll be in a better position.
They listen to you.
And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Yes. And then I'm like, Joey, come here.
Yeah, because baby, you're his dad. Exactly.
But you know what? You know what happens? If he goes against one of the kids that I just told to do something and he puts his hand there, guess what they're going to do?
Yeah.
They're going to grab it, they're going to pull it, and they're going to be in a better position like I told them.
Yeah. So I suggest talking to the other coaches and just say, listen, this is what I've noticed.
You know what? I'll do that. Next time I'll talk to one of the other and I'll be like, hey, can you tell Joey about this?
What I've noticed. Yeah. What I've
noticed Joey was doing this.
Yeah.
We'll see I'll try that. See what happens.
Because you know that too. You'll tell me something.
You suck, dude. Yeah.
You'll tell me something. And I'm like, oh, And then
somebody else. I told you that like fucking 3 years ago.
And then somebody else will tell me the same thing. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been needing to hear that.
You suck,
and Miguel looks at me and he's like, dude, I've been telling you that.
Dude, I can't remember what the hell it was. Oh my God. It was.
That's the same thing, baby.
Okay, so when we were working Legal Shield, Sonja, like she would always, when it came to like bring guests to the events that we had,
I was the shit.
Sonja was the shit, man. She always had more guests than everybody. She would like double what people would do.
I loved it.
And so a lot of times they would have contests for who would bring the most guests. And I think at a certain point they had
I
to
would
like
always
start
win. Yeah,
they would have to start letting other people
but
win this
that's
thing.
not
But
fair.
it's
I
not.
felt like that wasn't fair.
Yeah, well, I
They
mean,
just need to work harder.
yeah, true. Hey, figure it out, get better. No, but
I'm like, wait, what am I? Wait, where's my gift? Where's my certificate? No,
so what Sonja would win was a lot of times we would have like a guest that would come from out of town,
like it would
and
be
she would win like a dinner with that guest where it's
and he's the main speaker.
They're the main speaker. Usually they're millionaires. They have lots of experience in the business. And it's pretty much, it's a private dinner, just one-on-one or whatever. And she gets to ask questions about the, whatever, and get some really good insight on things that you specifically want to know.
Yeah.
And one time, I don't know if I was fucking working or some shit, and I think I was driving home. And I get a call, like you had just finished up this dinner with one of the presenters.
Super excited,
like telling
Chris
me,
Hughes.
"Oh my god, maybe." And it was like, "Oh my god, the dinner was incredible. I took so many notes. I learned so much." And she's like, "And he said this," and it was pretty much word for word the shit that I had been telling you for I don't know. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And you're like, hey, somebody, sometimes it just takes somebody else.
That's it. I just try it, man. Just ask the coaches. I noticed that Joey doesn't take my.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
What do you call it? My
advice.
My advice, whatever.
Or he gives me a hard time when I try it. Yeah. I'll give it a shot and see. I'll let you guys know what happens.
And then when I'm right, I want you to say, baby.
I don't have a problem.
You were right. No.
Yeah. Whatever. But, so. Actually, getting back to episode 100, getting back to that.
Yes.
I forgot. Scatterbrain. But we're coming up on episode 100. So for those of you that are listening, our loyal listeners to the podcast, we want to do something special for episode 100. We're working on it. We'll see what happens. But if you guys can give us a call, send us a message of maybe your favorite moment of the podcast, your favorite episode, your favorite guest, something that you liked. You can call us at 480-912-5128. You can also record a message and email it to us, or however you want to get it to us. We can get it on the show and we can play it.
That would be good.
Yeah, it would be great to hear, what you guys have to say out there.
Yes.
And where you're listening from and all that.
Good idea.
So.
Good idea. So, okay, so I've been listening to music a lot lately, right? And we were having brunch, and we were talking about how funny it's going to be when the kids get like older and listening to the music, like the difference in music that they like.
Yeah.
Because Audrey is all that girl's into everything though, but she likes like love songs. She likes
pop.
Yeah.
She likes pop music.
Yes. And Joey likes like rock.
He likes some pop, but he likes rock more.
Right.
He likes the rock style. I think it's because of the Transformers like soundtracks.
Oh, maybe.
I think that's what it is.
Maybe.
Because the songs that he likes, I think, are from the Transformer soundtracks.
Yeah.
But it's just complete.
It's hardcore
opposites.
though. For me, I think it's hardcore
it's
because
not.
I hear a bunch of screaming, and that right there gives me anxiety, and I'm like, oh my god, what's he listening? He's gonna drive me bananas. He's gonna drive me if he blasts his music. He's gonna drive me bananas. I'm gonna have to be walking around with earplugs.
We'll have to get him earbuds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you too. Sometimes you get in your mood and you're listening to like
some gangsta
hardcore rap. And I'm like, what the hell are you listening to? I'm like, yeah. So, and then he walks in and I'm listening to Save the Planet. No.
Yeah. What the hell was some Jason Mraz freaking Save the Planet song?
Or Happy.
Yeah. No, you're always listening to happy stuff.
It's funny how we are the same, but different.
Yeah.
Like, in a lot of things.
Yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, we had the chance to meet up with one of my friends. And it was cool. It was cool going out with, it was a friend from elementary school. Like I went to elementary school, went to junior high school with him. And I hadn't seen him in like 20 plus years, my friend Diego. And we went out with him and his girlfriend. And they had just moved, like a year ago from New York to LA.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were just sitting there talking, and I didn't realize that me and him started school together in second grade.
Yeah, that's nuts.
In second grade,
that's
and
super cool.
He just happened to be in town, and we kind of we met up and went out to dinner.
Yeah, good conversation too.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good conversation.
And speaking of the conversation, Sonja started getting real Arizona with them while we're at dinner. Like, we started talking about like the quarantine and shit, and she started talking about buying fucking bullets and ammo and shit. Like, hey, fucking relax. They're from New York and they live in LA now. They fucking live in LA now.
No, honey.
They're not from Arizona. You can't be talking about fucking buying bullets and ammo.
Sorry. The wife is from Texas.
She was from Houston, right?
And she said, she looked at him and she said, I told you.
Yeah,
she
so
did
don't
say
that.
Yeah,
That's
so
fucking funny, man.
her and I were like right there.
Hey, you know what? And I've been here longer than I've been anywhere else now. So shit.
Get the bullets.
Get the bullets.
No.
Yeah, let's get the bullets. Get the ammo.
Get the ammo.
I'm like, dude, you're gonna fucking scare them
so
away.
Funny.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
But no, we had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
I think I ordered everything on the menu.
You did.
Dude, I was
we
so
came home with so much food.
I know, but I was hungry and I thought I was gonna eat it all. No.
That's a fucking bad. Oh man, we are slacking on the fucking.
I know. Okay.
We were talking about how like we try to be healthy. Like, we have good intentions, right?
That's funny. Yeah, we do. Like, when I go shopping or when I send you to Costco, like, we'll get the green mix,
get the fucking
we'll get
kale.
avocados, we'll get the kale. Like, we get all of that, and we really do. The reason why we buy it is because we really do have intentions on eating them.
Yeah, it's like, let's make those green drinks. We're gonna start drinking the kombucha again.
Dude, that what was it? The ginger.
The ginger.
We need to start taking ginger shots.
We bought a fucking Costco box of ginger.
Yes, a whole bunch.
Shit.
So the other day, I'm like cleaning out the fridge.
You're fucking throwing everything away.
And I'm laughing my ass off. And Miguel comes in and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm cleaning out the fridge." And he looks at me and he's like, "Yeah, you mentioned something. You say how bad we are." And I'm like, "Well, hey, at least we try." You know?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, like I said, we have good intentions. We just don't follow. We're not so good with the follow through. But no, like the fucking greens, they end up looking like a fucking lime jelly.
Slimy.
Like lime jello or
gross.
something. It's fucking nasty.
Now, on a serious subject, just a bit, not too bad, but Audrey came home with some news from school. I wasn't home. Her dad was. You were.
Yeah.
And she had mentioned, she had talked to you about it, but I didn't know. And then when I got home, she told me that her friend got into a car accident.
Yeah, she
and
said
I'm like,
car accident.
Oh, is he okay? She's like, I don't know. So I didn't think, and I know who the mom is, but it's a car accident. Audrey's like, I don't know. So I didn't know how serious it was. And then you told me that it was a pedestrian.
Like, it wasn't two cars.
No.
It was a car hit him.
Hit him. Yeah. And that I I called the mom. She didn't answer. So I left a message. And then, the day after, I go walk into Audrey's room and she's crying. Yeah. And, she's trying to hide herself. And I just sit with her on her bed. And I'm like, here, babe, come here, baby. I'm like, hey, why are you crying? And then I already knew. And I just hugged her. And I said, hey.
But the kid's, he's okay.
Yeah. So
he's all right.
I'm like, but my thought was, oh my God, I don't even know how to have this conversation with her, because once I found out it was a pedestrian on vehicle.
Yeah. Like you assume that it's not good.
Right. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not prepared to have this conversation with her. Like, what am, right? Because that's a tough conversation to have.
That Mikey and the Dragons.
Right. But that's why I asked you, because I was unsure.
I was thinking that's probably why you were bringing it up.
So anyways, I ended up, the mom, thank God, I had called her because I didn't want to bug her, because I know, like, if it's serious, she's going through some things.
And we're just like, friends.
Yeah.
Like acquaintances, kind of.
Yeah, a little more on the higher side, but yeah.
I mean, for me, I don't know them.
Yeah,
I didn't talk to
him. So she ended up answering, and he's fine. And I was so relieved. And so I'm like, I called Audrey, and immediately I'm like, hey, he's okay. I'm like,
Man.
he's okay. He's a bit bruised. He's like, I'm like, but you'll see him in school, you know, within a couple of weeks, but he's okay. But seeing her hurt like that and knowing that there wasn't anything that I could do but just be there to love her and hug her and let her know that, you know, I'm here. Like the next step, I was just thinking like, I don't even know how to have this conversation with her.
Yeah.
And I was hoping and praying that when I called the mom, that he was okay.
That he was all right.
And he is. So, you know, that's probably, you know, the Mikey and the Dragon. I'm going to have to read that.
Actually,
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, we have our family here visiting. They're actually here now. They're hiding while we're recording the podcast.
I thought they were going to be our audience. I think they are. They're probably sitting up there listening.
Actually, you know what? I was thinking about that earlier today. When we get our freaking studio built, we're gonna have an area for
that would be fun. I would love it,
and we can invite whoever we want. We can get some special listener guests. Like we can do some promotions or contests. And
that's gonna be exciting.
It's gonna be fun.
Like once this whole COVID stuff goes away, like seriously, I would love. And I know that because I have a lot of friends that do it, and I used to do a lot of speaking engagements before this stuff happened. That we can get in there and go do some speaking engagements because I feel that that's where I would thrive because I enjoy, you know, being around people, you know, and their energy. So I think that would be great.
Yeah. But
and then we can throw some shirts out in the audience
with the freaking t-shirt cannon. Boom, shooting t-shirts into the crowd.
Yeah.
Damn. We turn into like fucking Joel Osteen, buy some fucking stadium or some shit. And then when there's a flood, we'll kick everybody out.
Shut up.
Get out of my stadium.
We'd be like Noah's Ark.
Let everybody
We'd be go getting the animals.
but no, like so they were here. They were actually reading the Mikey and the Dragons book, and that's why in that book, like actually, I listened to the podcast with Jocko when he was talking about writing that book, and he was thinking about whether he should leave that part in. So in the book is about a kingdom. And the king has always protected his kingdom from the dragons that are on the other side of the mountain or something like that, or that live in a cave or something. But there's dragons that come and the king has always protected the kingdom. And the king ended up dying. And now you have the young boy, Mikey, and he's the prince. And he's just a little boy.
Yeah.
Like he's a little boy. And when Jocko was talking about writing this book, now the little boy Mikey, he has to step up and defend the kingdom. But when they were writing the book, Jocko was talking about whether he should leave in the part where the king dies, like actually writing it in there that now the king is dead.
Yeah.
Because there is no sugarcoating it, like it's just up front. And he was saying that the more that he thought about it, he was like, I think I should leave it in the book. Because this is life. Kids are going to deal with death.
Yes.
Their pets are, you know, they're going to have a pet die. They're going to have a grandparent die. They're going to have, you know, somebody's going to die. And it's just life. It's part of life. And that's what I'm talking about is these books. Like they're so thoughtful, the way they're written. You know, I can't recommend them enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're great.
And our kids, I mean, they've been
Opposite
through.
Track podcast. Support the show link. Do it.
We lost a pet, and we had this pet for quite some time.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was our first child. Well, Niecy and then Frazier. But
our first child.
Our first
it was
child.
A dog.
He was,
but he was a sweetheart.
On, man.
He was
like, he was my baby. I didn't spit him out, but no.
No, he was.
He was adorable. But yeah, so we were all very, very much attached to him. And the kids, when they were born, well, he was right there. You know, like the kids grew up with him.
He was the type of dog, like there's some pets that you have. Like we just got this cat. And to me, and maybe to Joe, because Joey's also very close to the cat, right?
Yeah. And I am too.
And you, Audrey, I know why, because she likes to fucking make the cat do acrobatic shit.
Well, she's upset because the cat's not a lovable cat. Like it's.
Well, that's what happens when you try to make the cat do flips and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's usually what happens. If you're forcing cats, you don't force them to do shit. They do what the fuck they want.
Yeah, yeah. And she's not used to having A cat.
So when the cat wants to leave, she fucking like puts it in a headlock, and then she wonders why the cat is fucking pissed.
And that's the difference between cat and dogs. Like dogs are unconditional. Like they just love you no matter what.
That is true.
Do.
You put a fucking dog in a headlock, and he's like, "Oh, she wants to fucking play." Right?
Yeah, and the cat's like,
"Get the fuck off me! Let me go." You know?
Remember in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
What was it about? I don't remember what was going on. Like she didn't have any food, or I don't know. Something was going on.
She was fucking.
She was doing something. I'm like, I don't know. Man, we can't even talk about it. It's an inside joke. People aren't gonna get it.
But anyway, yeah. So she's always fucking flipping her. Yeah. But like everybody, we have these pets sometimes that they get attached to certain family members.
Yeah.
Or like they, it's just. Yeah. And certain family members get attached to that pet more than others.
Yeah.
Well, with this dog, with Frazier, I mean, for those of you that have had a pet like that,
yes.
I mean, everybody, and I think it's almost like the same for everybody. Like the love, like everybody feels the same way about.
Yes.
We all felt the same about Frazier. We loved him to death. He loved us to death. All of us, like.
But when you think about that love, right? Though, when you really take time and you think about how you loved him and ask yourself, why did I love this animal so much?
It's because when you look, like, you could do no wrong.
Yeah.
You could do no wrong, and Frazier will love you no matter what.
Yeah. And not only that, but like he would lift our spirits. Like if you walked in the door and you seen this cute dog, just happy as can be, just being there and giving you that love when you had that crappy day, or first thing in the morning, this bubbly dog just coming up, and loving you and just loving you. And it's Audrey tells me that he would feel her like emotions, like when she was sad, he would go to her, and he would do that for me too.
Yeah.
And he was just that happy-go-lucky, pure love. Always excited. And if he did something wrong, he said sorry. No, like his little eyes. You couldn't be mad at him for too long. He would be like, you could tell he was sorry.
Yeah, his head, and he would kind of like come, like he would try and make it up, I guess, right?
But that's why most people are very much attached to their dogs. Like they are part of the family. And I never got that because I grew up, in a Mexican household where the dogs stay outside. Like they are guard dogs. They are not part of the family. They're lucky we feed them, kind of deal. So when Miguel and I first got Nisi, we got to experience that. And then we got Frazier, and it's a different kind of love. It's almost like your kids. Well, you love your kids all. You love your kids all the same.
All right.
No, but you love the kids like all the same, but you love them the way they want to be loved.
We ran into somebody that was talking about like, so who's your favorite? And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right. Yeah, she's like, everybody, or I don't.
Everybody's got a favorite. I don't know. If it doesn't matter.
I can't remember. But I was like, I don't have a favorite.
No.
I don't. Like, I love our kids. Like, I love them the way they, like, I don't know. It's just all the same. Like, it's just, I can't.
It's the same but different.
Yeah, it's the same but different. Because if I loved Joey the way I loved Adriana, it would just be different. And because he likes to be loved or just, yeah. It's hard to explain.
I guess like a pet. I mean, it's the same but different, and you love them for different things.
Right. But with Frazier, it was just, he was perfect. He was just all around a perfect dog. And I can see why people, treat their animals like family members, because they are family members.
And people would see Frazier and you would see like this tough dog, like I guess his look. We knew his personality. So to me, he looked harmless.
Right.
To me, he always looked harmless.
Yeah. He was a boxer mixed with pit.
But yeah, to me, he always looked harmless, and he was that type of dog where you can leave him with anything. And like we could get a brand new puppy.
Yes.
A brand new we had a kitten.
Yes.
We had
a bunny.
And he, like, day one, we could probably just leave him alone with the cat or with the bunny out, and we wouldn't have to worry about like coming home and there not being a cat or a bunny.
He was a gentle giant.
Yeah.
He was a gentle giant.
Yeah.
And he created so much love in our house. He taught our kids. Like, I feel that we all learned what love, what that means and what it like looks like.
Yeah, we had
and
a
then
hard
we
time
lost him. And then that was so difficult. And that is something that we shared and bonded together. And now I'm going to make myself cry. But, you know, we'll see the kids like sad. We'll see them crying still. And Joey will tell me, you know, I'm like, hey, baby, what's wrong? And he's like, Frasier. And then one of us today, I was looking at our memories and their pictures came up. Oh my God, I'm going to make me cry.
Was it when he tore up the door?
No, we were at Nikki's house and we were playing with him. And I heard him crying. Like he was like crying because like whining. He was whining and I forgot how his whine sounded. And I heard that and Audrey and I looked at each other and we both started tearing up, you know, and it's just something that we've bonded in that way. We've gone through a loss, a death together, you know, because with my sister, the kids were too young. You know what I'm saying? With your grandmother, the kids, you know what I'm saying? Like
we didn't have kids.
We didn't get to experience that together. Yeah. And so
that was actually,
it was a tough. It was just a tough experience, but it was a bonding experience. Seeing my kid kneeling over him when he was gone. Him. You know?
That was actually 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right, like this time, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And man, you know something that I was just thinking about right now.
When mascara's gonna be running.
When I need to move on to the next subject before I start crying.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's related. So when I'm working on the videos earlier this week, I don't know what video I was working on, whether it was the last podcast or the video before it, but like I'll look at other videos that are related to the video that I'm going to post so that I can look at tags and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when I was looking at something, for some reason, a video popped up about an elderly lady. Like she was like in her 90s, but she didn't have kids. And they were talking about like the regret. Like, do you regret not having kids?
Yeah.
Or like, are you fine with where you're at today? Like you don't have any kids now and you're 90. And it's, I don't know, when you were talking about Frasier, like there's a lot of families that don't have dogs.
Jeez.
Like I didn't really have dogs growing up.
Yeah.
I had a dog for like a week.
Yeah.
And then I think that was with my dad and that dog shit somewhere and that fucking dog was gone.
Yeah.
It was a puppy.
Yeah.
But and then when I moved with my mom, we had two dogs. Mom, I know my mom's listening. We had Bentley and Beamer. They were two little chocolate labs. They were super cute. It's fucked up, but I remember I was working at McDonald's and I was working the drive-thru and I see my mom's car go by and my mom's waving, but she's not just waving. She's like waving and like pointing or doing something. So I'm like, she's waving, but she's trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it was. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm working. I'll figure out. I'll find out later.
Yeah.
I fucking get home and I find out what she was trying to tell me was that, hey, Bentley and Beamer are gone. And I get back to the house, they were fucking gone. But you know what? The thing is that my mom was working a lot. I was going to school. I was working. They were puppies. We couldn't give them what they needed. But that was pretty, like, I'm in the drive-thru and she's like, hey, I'm like, huh? What? Hi, Mom. And then the dogs are gone. But no, for those of you out there, if you're living in a house that, like, if that's your, like, no pets, no dogs, no cats, what do you think? I mean, or if you were one of those people and now you have pets, like,
yeah,
because the way I see it, I mean,
I think that every family should have a dog, and it is
if you have kids, especially.
Yeah, I mean, we had Niecy.
It was just us.
Well,
we had Niecy
good.
and Frasier.
Yeah, and it was good. Like, I mean, yeah, that's something that we bonded with as well. But when it's right, because when I was single, okay, let me just tell you, I was very into myself and my house had to be like spotless. And I tried the dog thing And I'm like, oh my God, I have to feed this thing. Like, oh, I got to walk it. I got to play with it. Like, I don't have time for this.
They're
and I got rid of it.
Up.
Yeah. And I was done with it. I was not ready. It's almost like when you have you have to be ready. Well, some people just have kids. I know I was going to, but you just never know. Like, I was not ready. I was not ready until you and I met, and it was weird, but I was ready, and I recognized that when we got Nisi. Like, I was good, so maybe, you try to have a dog once upon a time and you just were not ready. You weren't patient enough, because yes, they're going to have accidents. They're like having babies. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to crap on your floor, but guess what? You're the teacher.
They're easier to train.
You're the teacher.
They're easier to train. You'll train them in 6 months or 9 months,
but the love, that's what I'm saying. The love and the responsibility that the kids learn. It's like, hey, you got to feed the dogs. It's giving them responsibility and teaching them unconditional love at the same time.
The benefits like far outweigh the downside.
For sure.
Fraser tore some shit up.
Oh, yes.
Like, he ate our coffee table. He ate through Joey's door. He fucking ate carpets. Shoes? He ate your shoes. He ate fucking stucco in this house. He's tore some shit up. But
the love is far greater. I don't know, man. It's just far greater. Material things.
It's like 1,000 times. We got 1,000 times more from him than the stuff that we've had to put up with.
And when you think about all the lessons,
and he never even when he would do something fucked up, like, you would see him and you would get mad, but you can't get fucking mad at him, because you would look at him and it's almost like in his face he's telling you, like, I didn't mean to make you mad.
I'm sorry. I know, it's so sweet. Yeah.
Oh,
he was our fucking buddy.
Yeah, he was a sweetheart. Anyway, I hope you guys aren't crying out there.
Because we're crying. Oh, God. But it's a good cry. Like, I rather, and this is.
Get your kids a pet. Get them a dog.
I'm so, I rather today, I can say that I rather have love than never to love, because I was so scared of love. Like, I was so scared to fall in love, in a relationship. Like, everyone, my relationships that I had prior to you, I played safe. Like, I cared for them, but I wasn't like in love 100%, willing to give up, because this is how I felt back then. I had to give up my wants, my needs, my life to become one with them. And I was I was selfish, and I was into myself at that time, and I didn't want to give that up. And not only that, I was always scared to get hurt. I never wanted to get hurt. So the other person always loved me more. You know what I'm saying? Because if he, because he's going to cheat, like, that's the way I thought. He's going to cheat. And when he cheats, he could just get the heck out. Like, get out kind of deal. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you have one foot out.
Yeah. Always.
Or like a backup plan. Like, the window's open, I could jump out.
Right. You know? And so now, like, with us.
Now I fucking painted that window shut. You ain't going nowhere. No, I'm just kidding.
But you were supposed to be in my life. I feel that. Like, God placed you in my life for many, many reasons. And God forbid if something happens where, we can no longer be together. Like, I know, well, like, if something were to happen, we don't know what tomorrow brings, car accidents, all kinds of stuff can happen.
We almost made it to episode 100. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah.
But because I before this was very hard for me to swallow. Yeah. People come into your life for reasons, right? For reasons, lessons, seasons.
For reasons and
for seasons or forever. And I feel that
How did I know you were going there?
Shut up, babe. But I feel that you are my forever. But if something were to happen, I live every day, and this is what I try my hardest to do, is to live every day as if it was your last. Like, I'm going to love you 100% today. I'm going to love you today 100%. And if something happens tomorrow, then I know that God put you in my life for a season. I may have thought it was forever, but God knew that it was for a season. But during that season, we loved each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we loved each other. And that's it. There's so many, like I see some older people today that are full of hate. Like they're full of anger, they're full of hate. And then I recognize why.
Why are you laughing, Ruby? She fucking looks at me and she starts laughing when somebody's talking about old angry people. Well, she's like, this motherfucker's gonna be an old angry person.
Don't. We got to talk about that. Keep that. Okay. But it's a lot of them have so many regrets, things that they didn't do, or people that they hurt, or people that they wish were still in their life. But because they were assholes when they were younger and so self-centered and always had to be right and never knew how to say, I'm sorry when they were sorry. Now they grew old and they are alone. And nobody wants to be around them. And now they're old and they're almost about to leave this world, and they are full of all this regret this regret turns into anger.
You were telling me about a signing that you went to. Is that what it was?
No.
Or was it?
Yeah, well, he's one of them, but yeah.
You said he was like 70 or he was an older man that he was like an asshole his whole life.
But he changed his life.
And then he figured it out.
Yeah, and he's still young. Like he's still young. Like meaning young, like he's not. He's healthy. He's healthy. That's what I mean. He's healthy. Okay. So right now he was in the process of healing those relationships. So he's talking to his daughter, but he went through his life with me, talking about how he, all the divorces that he has, he was the cause of all of them. He said, and I recognize that today. And I have emailed them and I have called them to apologize. And two of them have accepted my apology, but one can't seem to get over it. And I'm okay with that because I understand I caused that.
Yeah.
I caused that. And all I can do now is pay it forward.
Yeah.
But just learning, like I take so much from these conversations. So much. And that's why I love being around older people because they're wise. Like they're wise in their ways. They've gone through things and they made so many mistakes, and they're so open to and they're willing to talk. Like they want to talk.
Yeah, they got experience.
And a lot of times we dismiss them because they're old.
You don't know shit.
A lot of people dismiss them.
Yeah.
When they would just take the time to sit with them and ask questions.
Yeah, they've been around.
And learn. And especially, with the couples, the relationships, 60 years being married.
Yeah.
There's so much that we can learn from them.
It is crazy. Like right now I'm thinking about it. Like they've been through your lifetime and they've been through like their own fucking lifetime. So like imagine how much experience, how much knowledge a lot of them have.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it's true.
No, for sure.
I was talking to you about Joey and the whole jiu-jitsu thing, and like you were saying like about changing your ways, and I told you, I was sitting here and I was telling Joey, I'm like, look, if you don't change your ways, like this is what we ended on. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, look, if you don't change your ways, you're gonna have a hard time. Like not just in jiu-jitsu, in your life, you're gonna have a hard time because you're never gonna know more than what you know now.
Right.
Because the way your attitude is, like, I don't want it, like what you're never going to know more. And that's pretty like there. And I was telling him like with the reading, with the math, with jiu-jitsu, with all these things, like I'm like adults, they have to know this stuff. You have to, when you're an adult, you can't not know how to read. You can't not know how to do math. You have to know at least the basics.
Right.
So whether you like it or not, but if you have this bad attitude, it's just going to make it harder for you.
Yes.
And kind of like what you're talking about, like the sooner that you can snap out of that mindset of being stubborn and all that, like the faster you get on the path of, doing the right things or going down the right path.
And the thing of it, I remember him telling me that he's like, I expected people to treat me this way, like with respect. This is how you talk to me, and if you don't talk to me this, like I would flip a lid, like when you love someone, it comes natural. The conversation comes natural. You shouldn't have to walk on eggshells around someone that you love. Like you should be able to express yourself openly and loving and not have to think about what you're going to say when you're talking to a loved one. You know what I'm saying? Like even just picking up the phone and saying, hey, how are you? And you accidentally say, hey, hi, stranger. And then them take it in a wrong way
or something,
which it wasn't. It's like,
Yeah.
And I just, So all you can do is be your best, do your best, continue to learn, continue to grow, But
like we talked about in that situation, a lot of times when something like that comes up, if somebody like if you say something like "hi stranger" and they fucking flip out on you, like we talked about last podcast, that has nothing to do with you.
Right. It's a
that's
trigger.
Something that they're going through.
Yep.
That's like they need to deal with.
It's something.
If somebody says "hi stranger" or fucking something that simple and it sets you off, you got something you need to work out.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like when there's something that you and I are going through, and if you say something or you're, and it really gets to me, I start to think, okay, why is this bothering me so much? Like, what am I holding inside that I'm unaware of that is a trigger point for me? And I will start thinking and praying and just trying to figure out, what is it that I need to work on? Remember that time when you and I were having a argument upstairs? We were having an argument upstairs. There was something that we didn't agree on. And then we were talking about our relationship. And this, I don't know, it was a while back, but I was telling you how I would feel when you would leave out of town. Remember?
Maybe. I don't know.
And how growing up, I didn't want a family. I didn't want a husband. I didn't want kids. And you growing up always wanted a family. Yeah. You wanted a family.
Yeah.
And here we are having a disagreement.
It's kind of like how I think what it was like how you didn't like when I would leave out of town.
Yeah.
And you would get like these feelings like he's not here. He's out. I mean, you have no clue really what I could be doing.
Right.
And then like I'm talking to you and it's like, look, I don't want to leave out of town. Like all I want is to be home and be with you guys. Yeah. And that's kind of like what we were talking about.
And that's how we were talking about it. And I just
like shit, if I could have you guys with me, I'd fucking go to work and then we'd be together doing stuff.
And then I had this feeling and I'm like, wait a minute. Like I started thinking, okay, why are you feeling this way? And you and I both recognized certain triggers. Because here I am telling you one thing.
That's what it was. What it was is that we were getting pissed.
Yeah, we were getting at it.
We were getting pissed. And the reason it was our past that was really making us that pissed off.
Yes.
Because you were kind of upset about me leaving and it was because your past was triggering you being upset about me leaving.
Right.
And then because of my past.
Because I had abandonment issues.
And for me, like all I've ever wanted was to have, I wanted this. I wanted to have my wife. I wanted to have my kids. Like I want to have these family moments, right? Mm-hmm. And when you were giving me shit about leaving out of town, but me feeling like I don't even fucking want to leave. Yes. I want to fucking be home with you guys.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden we were like, oh shit.
And it was the same time.
Like it was at the exact same time.
Recognized what was going on and why we were starting to get really upset.
Yeah.
Because back in your day,
and then we just kind of started laughing.
Yeah, and we started laughing. But now we recognize that. And now when you have to leave out of town, like I am so good. Like I am so good.
You hold it down.
And I'm not having crazy thoughts.
No,
like I'm here. I'm doing what I need to do and I'm missing you. And I may call you, I think you called me once, in the evening, but it's like, it's like I'm more secure.
And you understand look, I'm not home and I'm also not just going to stay in my hotel room all day. Like we're traveling with a few people. Yeah, we're going to go out to dinner. We're going to have some drinks. We're going to go to the bar and get a couple beers. Like that's what we're going to like. I mean, what am I just going to sit there and twiddle my thumbs and cry in my hotel room because I'm not home?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I would love to be home. I would love to be with you guys. I would love to be out with you having dinner, but I can't.
But this is something that couples need to recognize. It took us a long time to recognize these triggers.
There was something that just reminded me, and this was a really long time ago. This was when Joey was going to be born. And I remember it was kind of weird because I don't know how or why, but you had talked to one of your exes somebody that you were dating, and I had just decided, like, Joey was about to be born, and I was getting ready to leave to Iraq or Afghanistan when I was going to go be a contractor over there and work on helicopters.
We need to talk about that too.
And
we haven't talked about
I remember that you had talked to somebody because I was going to leave for a year. And like you were having feelings about, I mean, obviously you're having feelings about me leaving for a year straight.
Yeah.
And I think he told you something about like, look, the way you're feeling, like you need to understand that he's going to Iraq or Afghanistan and he's doing that for the family. That is not a place that anybody wants to go or be. But do you remember that?
I'm trying to think of which
he was a business partner guy you dated before me.
In the business?
Yeah.
Ronaldo? Anyways,
all right. Well,
whatever.
I know his first name, last name, associate number if you want me to fucking put it out there. But I remember you had talked to him.
Yeah.
And he was like, look, he's doing this for you guys. Like, you need to understand that.
Yeah.
You know? And that's kind of, it's like a similar, like, look, I would rather be here than on the road.
Yeah.
But if I got to be on the road, I got to be on the road, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the reason that I'm on the road is because I've worked my way to different positions, and this is what this job requires right now.
I mean, you don't have to, convince me anymore. No,
I know.
We're good.
I'm just saying.
But I wanted to bring this up because I know that there are other couples out there that are going through this as well. And so if you're having certain disagreements and it's the same thing over and over again, it's your responsibility to figure out what is going on inside. And a lot of times we are so unaware of our triggers.
That was really cool.
Right?
We did really good that time.
We did. Here, let's pump some fists.
Yay for us.
But I want other couples. I want other, couples to be able to recognize and resolve. Because a lot of people, they go to counseling for the things that we've been able to process on our own. Like a lot of couples, they'll go to marriage counseling to learn these things. And you and I have been able to do it without that. And so if we can do it, I know you guys can do it as well. So if you're in a relationship and if you can change, shut up, man.
Sorry.
So if you're in a relationship and you're having
can change.
Similar struggles, I'm going to take off my heels and I'm going to hit you with one of them. Thank you. So if one of you are going through struggles and it's like the same situation or the same topic, the same disagreement, okay, there's something there that you need to pray about or figure it out. It was just so weird how we did it, but if there is love like in the relationship, it's never too late to fix it.
Definitely.
And today, so many people are there. It's so easy just to give up.
Don't give up.
So easy to give up. And not only, this person, like, I know you inside and out, everything about you, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, to start over? Hell no. It took me 12 years to figure you out.
I thought you were stuck on the inside and out, and then you were like really thought about the inside, and then you were like, ew. And I was like, oh, what the fuck does that mean?
No, but to have to start all over again and figure out this new person, and we put so much work into our relationship. Imagine
we're not starting over.
Imagine having to start over.
All right,
and then they're probably more screwed up than you are.
So are we gonna make it to episode 100 or not? Because I'm fucking confused now.
Shut up. We are. Yes.
I'm just kidding. We gotta go.
Okay.
So
okay. Until then.
Until next time. No. Thank you guys for being with us. I got to go put flyers out at the Joe Coy show in a little bit.
Yes,
because I'm going to go out there and hustle.
He's got to hustle.
So if you got something you want to do, just fucking get busy. Get to work.
Get her done.
So thank you guys for being with us. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you guys. Happy holidays.
Yes.
To everybody out there.
Love you guys. Thank you for your support.
Go to oppositesattractpodcast.com.
And until next time. Bye.